up, y'all? It's Araneae Storm checking in. Happy October. Happy October 1st. Happy Aries full moon. We are now stepping into the moon sign series. For those of y'all that's your first time coming to my channel, my name is Araneae Storm. I does Mars activations, okay? Mars activations, G. Let's talk about Mars. We're not talking about Mars for real, but Mars activations, North Node and South Node astrology. So if you're definitely interested in getting in a reading, because you're definitely interested in getting a reading with me, you can hit me up at araneastorm.wix.com/info to book a reading with me. And then also you can follow me all social media at Araneae Storm. So, the month of October, we will be going through the moon sign series. I've definitely been trying to post during the week, so you can definitely look out for those. I try to drop at least one a day, you know, kind of build up that anticipation for the next one, you know what I'm saying? So you can just take it in small doses, especially for those of y'all that are actually trying to learn astrology. So, yeah. Also, if this is your first time, like you're learning your moon sign and you're like, yo, I just found out I'm an Aries moon, or I know somebody that told me that they're Aries moon, and you want to get to know a little bit about what that bedroom like, this is your video. So basically, for the rising sign series and the sun sign series, or specifically for the rising sign series, I've been describing like what you can look to when you're talking about the big three or the big four for my cuspers out there. So I was basically saying Astro Finesse has introduced, and this is the first time I've ever heard it like this, where you describe your rising sign as like the outside of your home and what the outside of your home looks like. And so I went a little further to say, well, if your your rising sign is like the outside of your home, your sun sign is like the interior of that home. It's what's in the home. It's what you put in the home to decorate it, to give it that feel. And then your moon sign is the sign that, you know, is like your bedroom space. It's your private space. It's the space that people come to out of town, or, you know, your boo thing, you know what I'm saying? That's y'all space. It's your private home. It's your private sector. So now that we kind of have a visual of what that home space would look like for you, this moon sign energy specifically is what you come when you are entering somebody's emotional realm, when you're entering somebody's aura, on an energetic field. This is what you connect to when you really get to know a person, beyond actually just meeting them for the first time, or beyond to see how they react in situations, or the lessons that as you grow with the person, you see them learn throughout their life. Like, this is like home, yo. Like, the moon sign is the home. It's actually one of the most revered planets in the zodiac because it's so powerful and it's so strong. Think about what happens as I record this on the Aries full moon. Think about what happens when there's a full moon. It's just a very powerful energy. And so, you know, this is the emotional realm. This is, you know, how we connect to our childlike selves. This is how we connect to our inner home, our temple. This is that energy. So when you have the moon in Aries, so we're going to be going through Aries all the way to Pisces. So we've started at the Alpha. So Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, for those of y'all that didn't know. But when you have an Aries moon, yo, it's a very powerful moon. It's a very, very powerful moon. It's a Mars, it's cardinal fire, it's Mars ruled. You know what I mean? It's the warrior of the zodiac. It's very warrior-like energy. It's very impulsive in the way it goes about life and the way that it thinks about itself. It wants to be direct. It wants to go for bro. That's Aries moon. The warrior inside of the Aries needs to have independence. It needs to be able to kind of move on its own terms. It's the emperor. It's the emperor in the tarot card, but it's emperor energy within the moon, you know? It sits on its throne. It kind of looks off into the, you know, the view, and it's like, yeah, this is now, this is sun. We are definitely, like, I'm going back and forth because I'm talking about like just Aries energy. But when it comes to the moon, Aries is not happy in the moon energy, because Aries wants to go out and do what it wants to do when it wants to do it. It wants to tell you how it's going to do it, when it's going to do it. But when you have moon in Aries, it's kind of like this energy can somewhat suppress the Aries energy. And not to say that it don't have a short fuse on your ass. It's not to say that the motherfuckers won't go off the fucking handle like that. Not to say that at all. It's just Aries moon is a little bit more, it's a very powerful moon, but I feel like it takes it a little bit more time to react, because it's not in its, I even want to say, I can't say this in its fall position, I'm not sure, I gotta look, but it is irritated as shit. So if you have an Aries moon, yeah, it's basically, I would say this, because Aries is irritated in the moon sphere, when it comes to people who do show a lot of emotion, or can be, you know, open and vulnerable and things like that about how they feel, Aries gets irritated in this position, because Aries feels like when you show or you let down your guard and you let any kind of vulnerability out, or you're just, you know, emotional, Aries is kind of like, no, like like, take that shit somewhere else. Get the fuck out the kitchen. That's very much so Aries energies. Aries has to learn from Libra, because it is its opposite sign, to, you know, be able to, you know, not only, you know, on the opposite side of that is being on its own, but be able to take advice, or be able to, you know, be with the group, be able to experience a group setting, or be able to experience other people's emotions. Because the Aries grows up, you know, we're talking about the moon. Aries can grow up, the Aries moon can feel like it doesn't have its independence. Aries full moon, Aries moon can feel like there could be other people in the Aries moon growing up, who there could be other people in this sphere that's telling them how to move, telling them what to do, how to do it. And so as they get older, they have to understand how to really gain that independence within themselves. I'm actually, on my chart, I'm a progressed Pisces. My progressed chart, y'all, Mercury retrograde is right around the corner. Like, I am so sorry if I'm tripping on my words, like, real shit. It's like right the fuck around the corner. So I'm like going back and forth. But basically, fuck, I just forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, Aries moon. I think I was talking about like childhood and upbringing and stuff like that. Yeah. Oh, my progress chart. So basically, I'm a Pisces rising in Western. I'm a Aquarius rising in Vedic astrology or sidereal astrology. But my progress chart is in Aries. It's Aries rising. So I feel like I kind of understand this energy of like, you know, because even for Aries moon, Pisces moon is before the Aries moon. So like, you have to kind of go through like this transformation, this ending process, before you can get to back to Aries, back to the first. It's the first sign in the zodiac. Also, with it being the first sign in the zodiac, if we want to talk about like, it's like that kid-like energy. Kids, they kind of just do things without thinking, or they don't really think too much about like the after effects of things. They just do shit because they, you know, it's like a natural kid like energy. Is that they impulsive as hell. Like, they want to do something different, they want to do something new, they want to explore and try new things. Like, this is very much so Aries energy. It's very passionate, it's very fiery, it's very like, what's next? You know what I mean? Like, what's next? Like, what can we do next? What can I do next? One thing I definitely can say about Aries moon, also, it is the pioneer energy. So Aries is very much so like a Kickstarter. They love to start shit off. They are the pioneers, you know, the zodiac, especially when it comes to the moon. Like, they like to initiate and start things. They're very, very good leaders, which is why Aries moon needs a team of people to be able to keep things moving and keep things going. Because you can have the leadership all day, you can be a Kickstarter all day, but you have to have the drive, and you got to have the one within you. Definitely check other places in the, you know, the birth chart. I'm not saying like this is the end all be all for y'all Aries moons out there, but I am saying like you have to be able to look to Libra to be able to assemble a team of people, you know, that kind of have like similar minds and interests and goals, especially when you set out to do something, because you put all of that energy into kickstarting it. So when you kickstart that project off, or you kickstart whatever it is that you're doing off, your team can help you carry it fully out. Or if it's something that you're doing alone, this is something that you got to learn within yourself. This is something that you have to learn, that when you start something, you know, you got to finish that shit strong. And you have that very aggressive warrior like spirit about you that can, but you have to be able to stay diligent. You have to be able to persevere through all the shit that's going on, and be able to get that shit, you know, intact, and get that shit done. Y'all need freedom. Y'all crave it. You know, you want to feel emotionally independent. You don't want to feel, you know, I'll say this: Aries energy is more so independent energy, and Libra energy is more so codependent energy. You know, Aries is perfectly okay with doing things alone. Aries is perfectly okay with getting that shit done and figuring that shit out on its own, versus Libra, who's not really there. You know, they like to be in partnerships with people. They like to be in relationships with people. And I'm not just talking about intimacy, but I'm just talking about like platonic relationships with people. They like to have that around. Aries is like, you know, I'm cool, but I could do this on my own if I want to. Like, I'm not even tripping. One thing I can definitely say is Aries moon is very protective. Very protective of not only people, but very protective of itself. You know, it's not the type of energy that's just going to kind of allow you to kind of bulldoze or steam over. It reminds me of Sagittarius energy in a point of like, Aries will say whatever the fuck they want to say. They'll just pop off. Aries moon will just pop off and say some shit, and then won't apologize. they won't apologize for saying what they said. It's just like, I kind of say what I said, so I mean, sorry. You know what I mean? It's definitely that energy of like, I mean, what the fuck you want me to say? Like, you want me to sugarcoat that shit? That's one thing they do not like. Aries moons, they don't like when you sugarcoat, or you're not being direct, or you're not being upfront with how you feel about it. And once again, it definitely depends on other placements in your chart, but this is one thing that really, like, that beating around the bush ass energy of like not saying what you gotta say, and you know what I'm saying, playing this. Aries be like, that's that shit I don't like. They don't like that shit, yo. They do not like that shit at all. Very quick tempered, very, very much so quick tempered, easily offended. You know what I'm saying? You piss an Aries off, you know, you piss them off, they will go off the fucking, they will go off the, you know what I'm saying, the handle. They'll go off the flame, but then just as quick as they just went left on their ass, or this is right, just as quick as they went left on their ass, you know, they'll be like, the next day they'll be like, oh shit, I'm not even tripping about that shit no more. But dead ass. Ain't no passive aggressive, ain't no, they just not tripping about this shit no more. They just like, I'm kind of over it. Very hardworking, you know, they do believe in hard work. They do believe in, you know, getting through, you know, whatever obstacles come at them. They want to push you forward. They want to, that is that energy. They will motivate you. Aries moon will motivate you to keep it pushing, and keep it going, and keep it. And it's also tough love energy too. Aries moon is very tough love energy. It's not going to sit and coddle you. It's not going to sit and try to reason with you about how you feel. And it's not even an energy, y'all. My bad, y'all. I got this smoke going in here. I'm tripping. I'm like over here. Anyway, very militant. Very much so. That's that general energy of where, you know, they say they're going to do some shit, or they want to do some shit, or they're interested in doing some shit. they can get really razor focused on that thing that they want to do. They just have to work on, Aries moon has to work on staying consistent and staying diligent. And even when those feelings, that Mars energy feelings come up of like rage and anger and that fight and that warrior spirit comes in you, you can funnel that energy into something that is constructive instead of destructive, you know. Definitely, this is familiar to Scorpio moon too, because Scorpio moons are Mars ruled signs as well, even though they're platonic. But this is something that y'all definitely share. It's just like y'all can go off the fucking, you know what I mean? Y'all could go off the deep end on their ass. You know what I'm saying? So you have to really, you got to be able to check in with yourself. You got to be able to connect to your own personal source of the Aries in you, the Aryan in you, the person that you are, the person that you be, and come back and, you know, draw that energy back down to self. You are here to do your own thing, Aries. Like, y'all are not the type of people and I'll definitely go into houses, like I said, later on for sure, but like, y'all are not the type of people it's easy for y'all to take charge and take direction and authority. And very much so like Aquarius like that. Like, it's really hard because y'all naturally have rebel spirits anyway, so it's really hard for y'all to, it can be hard for y'all to really work with other people and do other things with people, because especially when it comes to like your work, you know, because you don't, that's not really your style. Y'all are the type of people who would definitely be good in like entrepreneurial and basically doing work with people, or, you know, or yourself, that, you know, you have your hands on deck. You have all hands on deck. Like, that's you, that's your shit, definitely. Self-starter, passionate, exhilarating. You know, when you start something new, you feel that fire energy when you start something new. Like, you feel, it's just the energy that you feel when you start something new. It gets you hot, it gets you, you know, your steam rolling, it gets your shit pumping. That's definitely Aries energy. No filter, saying what it wants, fighting for your own ideas, you know, especially if somebody doesn't agree with you or feel the way that you feel. Aries has a definitely, Aries moon specifically too, has a thing of like getting real hot-headed and want to argue you down on like their own personal beliefs. So I think for you, Aries, you know, I feel like whatever it is that you believe, whatever you come and you've known to be true, you can keep that. Like, you can keep that with you. Can't nobody come in and change that. And if somebody doesn't agree with what you feel, or agree with what you know, or agree with you know what I mean, what you come to terms with, that's okay. You was put on this earth to show people how to emotionally have a strong sense of self, have a strong sense of knowing. You know, you've come to teach people how to stand true in who they are as a full being, as a full body being, not just the have but the whole. You know, that's your energy. You're very regal in that sense of, you know, that emperor energy of like sitting on that throne, and not just sitting on the throne to look good, but sitting on that throne because you know you got it on the inside too. You know that your spirit is pure. You know, you are the first sign of the zodiac. And when you think of children, when you think of kids, they come into this world pure. They come into this world unfazed, you know, and then they get all this societal things coming on. You are big Lilith energy, even for the men out there, you know what I'm saying, or whatever you identify as. Like, you, that is very much so Lilith like energy, the rebel. So the warrior, I'll give the rebel to Aquarius, but the warrior energy. But yeah, y'all, that's all I have for Aries full moon. Aries moon. We're gonna be moving into Taurus moon, Gemini moon, and Cancer moon next week, and then we're gonna continue down the moon signs and stuff like that. So, you know what I mean? For those of y'all that are watching, for those of y'all that are coming through to the channel for the first time, welcome to my domain. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely good to see y'all, good to meet y'all and stuff like that. So yeah, we gonna keep this thing kicking, we gonna keep this thing rolling. Like I said, you can find me at Araneae Storm on all social media. You can also find me at araneastorm.wix.com/info. Okay, so yeah, man, I'm gonna see y'all on the flip side. Araneae Storm checking in, checking out.